All right, it is Saturday night, and you know what that means. We've got our fourth episode of the Bob Show coming your way. Just want to say big thanks to everybody. The work that Chris and I, well, the work that Chris puts in, and the little bit of work that I put in, is really actually doing some good things. Average about 500-600 views a show. And as of last night, the BobbethTV Twitch channel is now affiliate status. So look for some massive changes coming on the Twitch side in terms of audience participation and things you can do on both the broadcast, the Bob Show, and some of the other streams that I've been doing. All right, let's get straight to the results. It's a big week for the Knuckleheads Racing League and the Senior Circuit. They are all sort of within their the Knuckleheads Racing League is within their summer of fun. Summer, I can't remember what's it called again, Chris?
Grassroots.
Grassroots. Thank you. That's the one. The Grassroots tour is coming to was come to a conclusion. So we'll get through some of those results. Oh no, they're the questions for Brooks. Sorry, I've lost my page. I'm really not organized here. Where are they? Yes, sorry, my bad, guys. Wouldn't be a Bob Show if I didn't have some sort of technical difficulty. All right, so Sunday night was the Pro Late Models at Kern. David Garman first. Somehow Christopher Standridge finished second, and John Bennett third. Matt Smith did have pole and a fast time. UMP Mods at Lincoln Speedway saw the return of JJ Martinez to the top three. John Bennett and not only getting fast time, but Cam McLean locking in third place. Monday night was the micro sprints, also at the Kern track, but the inner track. John Bennett, JJ Martinez, and David Garman 1, 2, and 3. Tom, the Missile Land, had pole and fast time. 2 leaders also got taken out by lap cars during the race. And we have another race where we'll be talking about something similar a bit later. Pro Late Models at Lernerville. JJ Martinez, it's good to see him back in the winners board. Haven't seen him on the track in a bit. Cody McDonald second and Matt Smith third. Matt Smith started on pole and had fast time, but wasn't able to hold on to that first place finish. Then we jump over to Tuesday night. That was the Dirt Street Stocks at Oswego. Travis McDonald, he won that race in dominating fashion. Also had the pole position and fast time. JJ Martinez and Randy Dixon was the second and third place finishers. Super Late Models at Charlotte, not only with a quick time, but winner Lane Grubb, Cody McDonald, Andrew McWilliams second and third. JJ Martinez had pole. And then in the Senior Circuit Street Stock Series, Rick Kelly, pole fast time, and the win, along with Tim Ruck second, Terry James third. Wednesday night, geez, there's been a lot of racing this week. Wednesday night was the Lotus 49 Classic Senior Circuit Series. You can catch that on BobbethTV, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Mark Brunig had pole position and led that from the start. There were some really good battles in the midfield, none more so between Chris and Tom, who finished second and third. Larry Tittle ended up with the quick time on that race. Thursday night and the last race of the week was the trucks versus the V's enduro race. So the drivers were in the trucks. There's a lot of AI in the Formula V's, just being a nuisance in the way. Rick Kelly taking out the win on that one, pole and fast time. Andrew Forrester and Mikey Mixter second and third. So that wraps up the results. We do have the regular race season for Knuckleheads coming back in just over a week. So Sunday night, the 8th of September, I believe, will be the return of the Knuckleheads live racing on BobbethTV. So make sure you come back for that. And that's the results for the week. All right, everyone's favourite portion of the broadcast. I've heard this a lot. The top 5 this week. It is the top 5 crashes of the week. So I hope you enjoy them. All right, that was the top five. I wasn't talking because I wasn't muted. I mean, I was muted apparently. Thanks, Hellreaper, for the quick shout out on that one. Um, yeah, I won't make the same joke I made before because it was just stupid. But that was the top five crashes. So yeah, keep an eye out each week and see if you get represented in that one. Look, we'll be back in just a few moments. Here's some words from our sponsors. Hello, friends. It's your good buddy Bob here again. Now, how many of you have a lot of wood surrounding your property? Forest, woods, brush, you're just overloaded with wood. Well, my buddy Woodchuck over at Woodchuck Woodchuckers Chucking Services is here for you. Will would willfully and wildly chuck wood from all woods with his patented Will's Woodchuck Woodchucker Chucking Services chucking service. Will walk right down to your woods and with his Woodchucker Chucking Services woodchucker start chucking wood right out of your woods right away. What kind of wood would Will's Woodchucker Chucking Services chuck? Why, willows, Washingtonias, Wigelias, wasabi, walnut trees, watermelons, wake robins, winter woods, wishbones, wahoos, weeping willows, water lilies, wild lilacs, waxes, water lettuce, wandflowers, wassawillias, I don't even know how to say that, Wallonias, white ladies, and so much more. Will's woodchucker chucking service doesn't just chuck wood, though he would willingly chuck any wood with his woodchuck chucking services. But Will's wife, Willonia, uses that wood in environmentally friendly ways to build sands to sell seashells. How many seashells does she sell? No, I'm not getting into that. But come on now, friends, call Will down at Will's Woodchucker Chucking Services today so Will can give you a free estimate on the wood that surrounds your home. How much would Will Chuck charge to chuck your wood with his chucking services? Let's just say that Will doubles down, dealing $1,000 deals daily. So call Will's Woodchucker Chucking Services today and let Will tell you how he will willfully chuck your wood with his wild woodchucker chucking system. Because if Will could chuck your wood, he would chuck as much as he could. And as much as his woodchucker chuck would chuck, if you let Will chuck your wood, he would. Call Woodchucker today. Some great words. I need a scene swap button that unmutes me at the same time. I think Hellripper. I'm so glad you're there, brother. You're going to become my first VIP. Um, I think. But yeah, some great words from our sponsors. And a wonderful woodchucking service. But if you do want to be one of our, if you are interested in being one of our actual sponsors, we are looking for that sort of deal, then look, feel free to reach out. We've got some good stats to share with you in terms of the value of it and things. So hopefully, we can help each other out. But until then, we love our sponsors and we will support them all, with the possible exception of Phil. He's coming later. All right. Spring Fling was this week, the VLR Spring Fling. And as everyone on iRacing knows, it is pretty much the premier dirt racing battle. The late model battle brings out a lot of different people from a lot of walks of life. I know a few people that had gone in it. Really didn't plan on doing too good, but it was more just racing against those guys and sort of getting amongst the numbers. As we said earlier, also we're going to be talking with Brooks Trammell in about 15. Well, I say 15 minutes. We'll be interviewing him in about 15 minutes. We'll be talking to him any time now. Brooks, say hi.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Now,
How y'all doing?
obviously, as people who do know me within the iRacing space, Brooks and I, we pretty much go back to my day one, my very first league, the first guys to teach me to drive. There's a few different stories in between all that we'll save for 15 minutes time. But thanks for coming along, Brooks. Now I did. originally sort of go, hang on, I'm pretty sure I saw on Facebook that Brooks was actually entering the Spring Fling in a surprise ride, so this is going to work out really well. But then I found out later that nope, Brooks, you didn't race in the Spring Fling. Is Joey coming on the show? Look, I wish we could have someone like some of those guys on this show. So look, who knows? Maybe one day, we'll see.
Yeah, his publicist wouldn't return our calls there.
Yeah, he's living that he's gone from unknown to hero, and our budget doesn't stretch. No, I'm sure he's a great guy, but yeah, one day let's hope. Look, that's the plan, is to extend this out and you know sort of help other leagues if other leagues want a bit of exposure, a bit of airtime, and it's not necessarily in a broadcasting sense that it works. So yeah. Um, but yeah, so the Spring Fling, Brooks, was this week. Obviously, you didn't race in it. $6,000 first prize would definitely draw a lot of people out of the woodworks. As I said, I know a lot of people that drove in the race. You know some of those people, but were there some people that you were sort of looking to watch in the race that you were keen to see how they went?
Yeah, I was watching like Tanner Tomasi, Cody Nevin, Dylan Yeager, guys like that I raced back on with Monster and Dirt back in the day. Cody Nevin, man, he was up front throwing slider fesses for the lead for the longest time, man, right there toward the end. That was a pretty good show. I mean, for $12,000, 120 guys, and then it broke down to the final 24 or 25.
25,
So
yeah.
yeah, man, it was a good show, man. It was pretty cool to watch. I love it every year, and I was kind of sad at first because I was thinking there wasn't going to be one, and then lo behold, about midsummer they popped up with it. So I was like, yes, I get to watch a good one.
Yeah, no, I wanted to watch it, but I get confused with these broadcasts, and it's like there's the entry races, the last chance qualifier, and I was never really sure. And it's not until I started hearing some of the news, I know that in terms of the two qualifying servers, which I believe is the one that Joey Lindgren came through, was some really good racing, some good competitive racing. Server 2, I feel like it might have been a bit more mixed up with a lot more of the guys you would consider to be definitive race drivers, the ones that would definitely definitive starters. So the racing was a bit what they called a demo derby, from what I could see. I know Kendall Tucker was one of the guys that was expected to sort of do well in the fling, and he didn't make it through the qualifying service because of the standard of racing. And how if you were running the Spring Fling, Brooks, how would you try and sort of maintain the integrity of racing? I feel like that was the biggest issue, and we see it every year. They sort of go, oh, here comes this team. They're going to back each other in the calls and blah blah blah, or these guys are going to try and block these guys. How do you even begin to start to maintain integrity in a race of that level?
Honestly, in the virtual world, it's a dog eat dog thing, and it's kind of hard. Like, I mean, you have, like I said, 120 guys. We had Dylan Hauser, the guy over House of Speed, didn't even make the show,
Mm.
and I'm pretty sure he's made the show of all 15 of them beforehand. So I mean, for him, he had to go into a last chance showdown, and then those guys just pretty much running over him. Then I mean, I feel like the officiating is pretty strict, but it's also when you get down to the last lap, it's like who can be the one to take out the one first. You know what I mean? So for $6,000, you just got to be on defense mode the whole time and just hope your luck is good enough, better than the other person.
Yeah, no, definitely do, and I think that might have been the part of the steps that went to allow Joey Lindgren to take out the win, take out the first place. Obviously, an underdog, not really sort of, I guess, considered in those one-on-one battles and in the group battles and things like that. So allows him to sort of, I guess, not have that extra pressure, not have those extra eyes on him, and race through. But like you say, there's guys there that have made 15 straight flings in a row that didn't make the big one. There's guys that um, and I can't remember which one. I think is it Blake or Evan that's been quite winning at the Spring. I think he's won the last two or three. Is it Evan Say, or was it Blake? I know
It's
it's,
both of them, really.
but
I
so
mean,
there's
Blake
this sort of,
and Evan, I think.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
Majula C Speed Shop, that combination. and we will have speed shops as a topic coming up one time soon, and obviously we're about to talk about more. But I feel like that's one of the few speed shops that really does do gangbusters. I've had a lot of leagues where I've broadcast where a lot of the successful guys end up thanking that crew, and you know they were in the results. We'll cover the results soon, but they were outside the top 15, and it's you look at that. If I look at it now, like from 16 to 25th, it was Blake Majulis, Caleb Durgan, and if I get any of these names wrong, I apologise, listeners. Jesse Endican, Jordan Casey, Evan Say, Brandon Freeberg, Connor New, Tanner Tomosi, Diesel Jones, Logan Herbert, and for me personally, Herbert, Tomasi, Connor New, Freeberg, Say, Enterkin, Majulis, they're all quality drivers that you just see nothing but good sort of result posts. Oh, we did this in officials this week. I've been fortunate enough to broadcast a lot of Connor's races, Connor News races, as he's sort of been coming up through the league and getting into those teams and stuff. So not going to lay claim that I discovered him, but super proud to see that he's up in that mix as well. But then when you look in the top 10 to 15, Lucas Ruark, Colton Zimmer, Aiden Berline, Hunter Rich, Cody Nevin, Damien Kiefer. So there's a few names there that I recognise straight away. Nevin, Zimmer, Ruark is another one that's been on that I've had the pleasure of broadcasting. It's crazy, and I know that they. Who was it that there was? So in the actual results, we'll go through the top 10 results now. Actually, Joey Lindgren won, Hayden Tollinson second, Colton Hobart third, Braden Donaldson fourth, and Dylan Yeager took out the top five. Matthew Selby, Dylan Wilson, Logan Rumsey, and Brady Thompson also in there. So there's a bunch of names that I do recognise that I have seen on the streams. Brooks, there was a guy that used to race Kings of Sling, and we'll get to that as well soon. But he only stuck around for like 2 or 3 races because he got pretty good or went pros and that. What was his? Drew Hopkins?
Drew Hopkins, exactly. Yeah, he won the initial big first race. It was like $500 to win.
Yep.
Yeah, Drew Hopkins. He actually won a couple pro races too in the actual iRacing World of Outlaws Pro Series as well. Good kid from Kentucky.
He's a name that I sort of expected. It's sort of, as I say, there's names that you sort of recognise and you see, whether it's just you see them a lot on Facebook or in results, or you've had experiences where you've been in races and you look up to them because they, take that 22 dirt street stock around Lunarville for 12 weeks and just absolutely own everybody. So you sort of expect to see some of those names there, and it's so weird looking at that list. And I know that there was a few. I know they did an AI thing where they chucked all the names in AI and said predict the race, predict the results, predict what sort of moments are going to happen. And there was really no rhyme or reason to it like there is now. But it just blows me out that guys like as well, I've sorry said, like Say, Majulis, all of those guys, that outside the top 5 in a race that they've so brutally dominated for a while now. Anthony Morano was in the B main. Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that. I know that Bo Caro, another guy that we've raced with, he was in it. Trying to think who that other person was, because the only other person on my Facebook that I tend to confuse Brooks' name with is another guy named Brock Poole, a friend of ours named Breadcorn, and it definitely wouldn't have been him lining up in that race. He's not that confident. But yeah, now what was I going to talk about? I've lost my notes on it, but hopefully you'll know, Brooks. So there was some controversy in the last lap. The leader, I believe at the time, or someone vying for the lead, threw a slider and came into contact with a lapped car. A lot of people like to put the blame on a lapped car, but they declared it was the driver's the leader's fault, and put him to the back just before the end of that race. I think in the dying stages of the laps. Do you remember who? Do you know who that was and what happened?
I don't remember his name, but I mean, I did watch it, and I kind of agree with the officials on that part too. I mean, you had pretty much 3/4 of the racetrack that you could have used. You wanted to use the slider line, pretty much from top to the bottom, and brought it up. So when it happened, yeah, it collided into them. It was just same real estate, and they was both there together. And again, it's $6,000. Everybody gets a little antsy, and they try to be Superman. So you go for the shots that you don't normally take, but when you're in that position, you kind of got to relax yourself. But Yeah, it was kind of a racing deal, honestly. But yeah, you just hate to see that too, man, because that cost him the win. You know, he was up there running good.
Yeah, and look, it's one of those things. A lot of it, yeah, racing deals especially, heat of the moment. You've got to, yeah, you're building something up. You're getting in a dying stage. You're trying to make a move. It's you can't sort of think about the what ifs. You just have to like it's you have to do it. You can't hesitate. So I was hoping to have some of the footage. I know that VLR did upload their own sort of, hey, let's have a look at this, and you guys can make your own call. But I didn't feel right sort of grabbing that video and chucking it on my broadcast. But look up VLR Spring Fling on the Facebook on the Facebook. Oh my God, damn, I'm old. And go to there and yeah, the video's there. They've got a replay of it from different angles if you want to check it out and see what your thoughts are. But that's always the toughest call. It's I know lap traffic get a lot of a bad rap in that respect, but as you said, if you've got 3/4 of track to play with, it's on you when you make that choice. So I'll have to wait until next year. I imagine that the Majula Say Speed Shop boys definitely will be going back to the drawing board tomorrow and doing a year's worth of planning, because I know that obviously it was expected that they were going to sort of take that one out. But congratulations to Joey Lindgren. Hopefully that's just the beginning of the big things for him, and we might be able to congratulate him himself personally one day down the track.
It'd be nice. He races in real life. That's what they said. They said it was the biggest win he's had overall in virtual and real life. So
Sweet, no,
maybe it's
that's
a
awesome.
stepping stone to build his career.
No, definitely. And look, it's we've seen it. I might get this somewhat wrong, but isn't I mean, you might have been a race car driver sort of before, but isn't there guys like Ferguson and that? Is it Chris Ferguson?
Right. Chris
That's it.
Ferguson, Hayden Cardwell,
Mm,
Kendall Tucker. I mean, there's numerous of people that have used iRacing as a fun to start now. Even all the Cardwells, Davin Cardwell, Hayden Cardwell, they both went out and won a bunch of money on iRacing, and it progressed them into where they are now, running in real life.
yeah. So it's definitely it's definitely a pathway. We had a mutual we have a mutual friend in Travis Creech, who
Yep.
he's a big
Yep.
fan of it.
That's another one.
He likes to have on his race car in iRacing, don't worry, I do this in real life, and then on his race car in real life, don't worry, I do this on iRacing. He feels like it's a great off-season tool. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, no, it's good to see. It's good to see that it definitely. I know that some people look at the broadcast that I do and they sort of go, "Oh, wait, this is actually real life people racing. I thought it was just AI, whatever," and that sort of validates what the guys do. But then when you see that level of success, and I was talking to some friends about it, they're saying, like, "Oh, there's this race that we're talking about this week, and it was $6,000 for the first prize." There was a guy I raced with, he won like 15 grand in a race 2.5 years ago. It's like there's big money in it if you put the time and effort in. So no, that's awesome to see that it's still going well, and that the dirt scene isn't completely wrapped up by the same people. But it'd be interesting to know where Joey sort of his background in terms of what pathway he did come from. Because if it was like a feeder Majula Say Speed Shop sort of team, then all that was for naught. Then. All right, look, we're going to wrap the VLR chat there. We're going to go to a quick commercial. And then when we get back, it's the big interview, the chat with Brooks Trammell. Why did I say that like that? Oh my God, Brooks Trammell, Trammell. And my shocking American accent comes out into the light. And we've actually got some fun. We've got a little game show set up happening in the middle of the chat. So we'll sort of get a bit to know you a bit, learn how you and I met, and then we're going to quiz you. So we'll see how you go. But stay tuned, guys. We'll just another word from our sponsors. Hey, friends, let me tell you a little tale. A few weeks back, my buddy Chris over here was driving when his oil pump failed and oil was sprayed all over the engine, the tranny, the tub, and on the track, everywhere. It was pretty embarrassing. When Chris told me about this, I knew immediately that he had to call Phil. Philip Acio produces specialized vacuum pumps with a delicate mouth that carefully wraps around the nozzle, sucks that oil right out of the pan, and swallows it down the throat and into the engine. Fellacio's vacuum suctioning will put that oil right in, lubricating the bearings, sealing the vanes, and making the cylinder more airtight. So you can keep those vanes moving up and down and sliding against the cylinder wall, thrusting time and again, helping extend the life of the engine, making sure that its end doesn't come too fast. Fuel's pumps never fail to satisfy, and you'll never find moisture in the oil, so you'll never see any of that milky white oil discharge when you inspect the insides. Fellacio's pumps will also swallow, never spit oil all over, never leave a mess, and never cause embarrassment to the driver coming off the track. And that's not all. Fuel's engine shop works with all sorts of parts inside your engine that most engine shops don't even think about. Rub your balls with Fuel's patented ball bearing smooth operator. Convert your tranny from one type to another with our special swapping operations. Reduce pressure with our soft blow-off valves. And we sell all kinds of tools, including a 6-inch extension so you can really get deep inside that engine. So go to www.fellatio.com/tools-and-parts.com today to buy Fuel's parts and make sure that you don't ever have any embarrassing spills or stains today. Hello, friends. It's your good buddy Bob here again. Now, how many of you have a lot of wood surrounding your property? Forest, woods, brush, you're just overloaded with wood. Well, my buddy Woodchuck over at Woodchuck's Chucking Services is here for you. Will would willfully and wildly chuck wood from all woods with his patented Will's Woodchucker Chucking Services chucking service. Hey friends, let me tell you a little tale. A few weeks back, my buddy Chris over here was driving when his oil pump failed and oil sprayed all over the engine, the tranny, the tub, and on the track, everywhere. It was pretty embarrassing. When Chris told me about this, I knew immediately that he had to call Phil. Philip produces specialized vacuum pumps with a delicate mouth that carefully wraps around the nozzle, sucks that oil right out of the pan, and swallows it down the throat and into the engine. Fellacio's vacuum suctioning will put that oil right in, lubricating the bearings, sealing the vanes, and making the cylinder more airtight. So you can keep those vanes moving up and down and sliding against the cylinder wall, thrusting time and again, helping extend the life of the engine, making sure that its end doesn't come too fast. Fuel's pumps never fail to satisfy, and you'll never find moisture in the oil, so you'll never see any of that milky white oil discharge when you inspect the insides. Fellacio's pumps will also swallow, never spit oil all over, never leave a mess, and never cause embarrassment to the driver coming off the track. And that's not all. Fuel's engine shop works with all sorts of parts inside your engine that most engine shops don't even think about. Rub your balls with Fuel's patented ball bearing smooth operator. Convert your tranny from one type to another with our special swapping operations. Reduce pressure with our soft blow-off valves. And we sell all kinds of tools, including a 6-inch extension so you can really get deep inside that engine. So go to www.fellatio.com/tools-and-parts.com today to buy Phil's parts and make sure that you don't ever have any embarrassing spills or stains today. The last thing you need is a blown engine and getting rammed and run over by 6 other guys. So call Phil today. Fellacio's Parts Plus. All right, we are back. Let me make sure I've got the interview channels and everything all sorted out. There we go. Sorry about the commercial hiccups there. That's we'll blame a gremlin in the system. But as you can see there on our screens, the man, the myth, the legend, Brooks Trammell. He's on our screens. Welcome, Brooks, to the Bob Show.
What's up? What's up? Thank you, man. I'm proud to be a part of the show. What's going on with y'all, man? Y'all been doing all right?
I'm doing great, doing good. Yeah, getting the broadcast up and running and evolving into this one. Now, as I've said this a lot on broadcast, but I can't rely on you all to watch every minute of every broadcast. So I'm going to say it again. This man, this channel, this show, what we're doing right now would not exist without that man that you see on the screens there. He created Mud Mules TV. Mud Mules was literally a group of guys that were just racing together. And then we started to do all right. So someone was like, well, let's broadcast it. And Brooks was like, well, I want to do that. And he started that off. And I know I'm telling you a story for you. But just due to time constraints and having a beautiful family and awesome job and promotions and all of those cool things in life, couldn't keep doing it. So I sort of went, well, hey, I want to do that too. So do you mind if I don't mind doing your bookings like you've already sort of got. We had a few bookings set, and so we did that, and I really enjoyed it, and it's allowed me to continue doing it for what I think 2 and a bit years now, and um,
I know, man.
move on to this show. As I said at the head of the show, we're averaging around 500-600 viewers a week on the Bob Show. It's allowed us. It's helped me get to affiliate status on Twitch as much as recent as last night. Yeah, without Brooks, big thank you to you, Brooks, because without you building that awesome foundation, I wouldn't have had anything to steal and ride those coattails of. So I appreciate you for that. Um, Look, I know a lot about you. I know where you've come from and where we met. But tell our viewers who is Brooks? What do you do? What gets you going? Give us a bit of an idea of a day-to-day life in Brooks.
Brooks Trammell, man. I'm just a normal old guy from the southeast of South Carolina. Not just family man now, but man, when we first met, I was just an iRacing guru, man. I loved iRacing, played it every night. That was like my thing. And like you said, man, just wanted to. We had a bunch of good buddies that wanted to really show off the talent that we had, and we never really wanted to pay. There's a lot back then, man. People want to charge an arm and a leg just to broadcast a race. So I was like, heck, man, I can figure out how to do this. So yeah, that man iRacing was so much fun, and then like yeah, got into promotion of being a supervisor for a Caterpillar. So right now I work at a foundry where we make all the parts that go on a large powered division. So anything like big dump trucks, movers, mud graders, front end loaders, even cargo ships, the motors that go on cargo ships. That's what a lot of the parts that we do in South Carolina. They go on the motors and drivetrain that help drive the Caterpillar equipment. Um, Now played a little bit of video games, do a little bit of TikToking. TikToking's pretty easy for me, you know. I ain't got a lot of time consuming with it, but it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing that, and looking to start streaming a lot more too, since I done got everything set up. But man, yeah, you talking about riding my coattail, dude. You just got out of the nest and started flying, my guy. You took off with it. It wouldn't have stayed alive or be anything without Bob. So, man, we got to give you credit because you have done the best at man. You've done great with it, and
No, I
we're all
appreciate.
proud of you. I know the OG Mud Mules are very proud of Bob.
I do appreciate it. And there's a lot of the guys, majority of the guys, I think that we still, we talk to all the guys, but it's everyone's busy and has different lives or isn't as invested in iRacing as much as we were. So
Yep.
sort of keeping up in other ways and seeing how they do. And it's been an awesome run. It's been really cool watching it all sort of build and go the way it has gone. Now, I mentioned earlier that you and we met. We There was a small team. Mud Mules obviously led to this. Prior to that, what a lot of people won't realize, and I don't know if I know, I feel like we have talked about this personally in racing sessions and stuff, but we both met in a lot of the guys' Mud Mules. Our first league, Kings of Sling, was a dirt street stock league, 12 weeks at Lernerville. So that was sort of our baptism of fire into this sim. And um, while I thought everyone pretty much in the league, those opinions somewhat changed. We all know as we worked through that league. But when we first initially joined that league, I was like, oh, these guys are a real cool bunch of people.
Yep.
But you're a very intimidating driver. It was very much like if you looked in the mirror and you saw that 22 coming, it was like, fuck it, I'm just getting out of the way. I'm not going to bother. He's coming through. Let him go. It was very intimidating. So while I wouldn't say I wouldn't have considered you my friend, I definitely looked up to you a bit as like, man, this guy's good. He's gonna dominate these leagues, and he's the guy. He's one of the guys I need to learn from and watch. But it because I was so new to it, I think everyone had that. I gave everyone a little bit of, and not that you didn't deserve it, but a little bit of extra aura. It was sort of like if you and I looked at like the Fergusons and the Majula Says and stuff like. You were my first one of those. It was like, man, this dude is good. He is unbeatable. Like, and let's face it, the Discord, we know the chats, people's tactics. Some people disagree with certain tactics. Some, agreed. Others would turn their grandmother to win a B main. It certainly wasn't like you were a menace out there or anything. But did you find it? Did you were most people receptive to you and your winning ways, or did you feel that there was a little bit of the green-eyed monster coming out in some people?
Oh man, it was a target on my back, especially Lernerville really kicked it off a lot. But it created a lot of good core people that like you said, that I've stuck with since then, that is pretty close friends. Like my hero, my true love, Michael Holmes, that guy right there, man. He has been the guy that I've talked to pretty much every day through Snapchat. At least once a day, we at least text each, snap
Yep.
each other. But man, yeah, I had a target on my back, and went out there and won like 5 or 6 in a row in a
Yeah.
dirt street stock, and it was like, dude, am I gonna keep doing this? And at that time, that was really when I started learning the game good. I was been on it probably about a year and a half, 2 years beforehand, and then I seen a ad for Kings of Sling with Brandon Yamrick saying, "Hey, you want to join this league? You're gonna win this amount of money and trophy and all this." So it's like, heck, man, I might be able to try it out and do something with it. But yeah, man, at that time I was hitting it pretty good, and I started finishing pretty decent with that, and then it trickled into other classes and leagues as well, and picked up a little bit of money along the way too. It was very fun, but yeah, man, it was cool to be a part of, and it's still cool to see the people that I talk to this day, and that was, man, 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Four, was it four? Yeah, it was. It was like 2020, 2020. It was
Yeah,
like the beginning of
2021, 2020, something like that.
yeah, wow, that's a lot longer than I realized. Yeah, and as you say, there's like, and I'm sure I could, no matter who I name right now, I'll get a message afterwards going, why didn't you name me? Because there's so many cool guys there, like you mentioned, Michael
Rock
Lonis,
Mosky. Rock
uh,
Mosky.
Brock Mosky, Bo Caro. I have to say his name just otherwise if he doesn't hear it. But you got your Robbie Milburns, your Luke
Yeah,
Rakoskis, shit Kush. He's still
yeah,
Brian Warner. He's
Cushman.
still he's still
Cushman.
around. You guys all like it was when we sort of started going, no, you can't race the street stocks anymore. You've got to come up to the limiteds and race those to practice to get to the pros. And we all started doing a lot of those Charlotte, Lima Land Lanier, late model sort of practice sessions. And yeah, all of those names, big responsible. And I think that was probably when I went from I'm Brooks's mate to we're mates, we're friends. Like it was like, it was
Yeah.
sort of like, yeah, oh wait, he didn't turn me on the track. Does that mean he likes me? And it's like, yep, we're friends now. Yeah, it's like, oh cool, this is and then I was able to sort of relax and get faster. And myself, we had another little team that was born off of that big performance, and myself and shit, I'm having a blank on oh he's got
What, when
a
you and Aaron and Donut went one,
donut.
two,
I'm
three?
trying to.
Donut.
I can't remember
Donut.
his name.
Donovan.
Donovan, my
Donovan.
brother from another mother.
Donovan.
I'm so
Y'all are
Donovan.
twins.
You have every right to tear me to shreds right now, brother. But yeah, that famous 1, 2, 3 at Charlotte. I was leading the race the whole time, and then once I saw Aaron get past me, I knew it was only a matter of time for Donovan to get past me as well. And it was Aaron, Donovan, me, 1, 2, 3. But yeah, and that's what I mean. It was just it was always about just sort of taking what we had and making it better. And
Yep,
it
that's
was such a fun time to be on. Michael Loner's Waffle House, never forget. Oh, and
turn 4, baby. Turn 4.
we'll
I'll never forget. I got a EOL for that, and that was like the first race I lost in the limiteds. And I want to say it was the Sweet Tea, but I punted Lonus. And the sad part is, Lonus did like a rap giveaway. It was like he put a post up on the Kings of Sling thing. Is like, if you like this or comment, and he'll do a random, and you'll win the free rap. Well, I won the free rap, and lo and behold, I literally got that rap that night. And I wrecked him with his own rap that he gave me for free. And after that, we kind of had like an Earnhardt Terry Labonte rival, but we were still best friends. Like I said, it was like cool as heck how it came out about with that. But the Waffle House Shuffle, it's like every year I have a memory on my Snapchat, and I send it to him every year. I was like, "R.I.P. to the Waffle House Five."
That's awesome, and yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of fun moments definitely on the track between you guys. All right, we're going to move over to the game show portion of this interview. We've got some questions up for you, multiple choice. They were written by a teacher, so if you're smart, you will see that pattern with the answer sheet that they have. So just keep an eye out for that. But big no prize up for grabs for you. So let's see how you go. First question. Now, by winning the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona this week, Harrison Burton punched his ticket to the NASCAR playoffs and joined the list of drivers to score victories in the NASCAR Cup Series. Some may not know this, but Harrison has a famous father. Is his father A, Tim Burton, director and creator of the upcoming Beetlejuice movie that wowed audiences at the Venice Film Festival? B, LeVar Burton, reading rainbow figure and actor who played Georgie LaForge on Star Trek The Next Generation? Or C, Jeff Burton, the mayor, former NASCAR and current racing commentator who won two Coca-Cola 600s in the 1990s?
C for come on, Jeff Burton. As you could tell when it was in the victory lane, Jeff Burton came up out of the booth, gave him a hug. Thought that was the coolest thing ever. It reminded me of the Dale Jarrett and Ned Jarrett kind of thing when Ned Jarrett coached Dale Jarrett to the Daytona 500 win. Kind of took me back in that kind of realm as too. So yes, Jeff Burton.
Ding
Excellent.
ding.
All right, question number 2. So, Brooks, you appear to be a Clemson fan. Now, today they lost to the Georgia Bulldogs. The last time Clemson beat Georgia was in 2013. Now, before that, you have to go back to 1990. I didn't write these questions, by the way. I'm just saying, Brooks.
Yeah,
The,
no
the,
kidding. Of course.
the two teams used to play every year. How far back do you have to go to see their first game against each other? Was it A, the year South Carolina rejoined the Union? B, the year Georgia joined the SEC? Or the year of the first Boston Marathon?
Man, I do not know this, but if I had to say, probably have to say the first year that SEC joined the, I mean Georgia joined the SEC. B. I don't know.
All
I don't
right.
know.
Unfortunately, the answer is C. Georgia and Clemson played their first game against each other in 1897 in Athens, where unfortunately the Bulldogs pounded poor Clemson 24-0. However, by
Okay.
1906, Clemson dominated the series, holding Georgia scoreless in 5 straight games to take a 7-3 series lead. All right, 2 more questions. Now, I know the loss this week was tough, but we're here for you, buddy. Now, often odd rivalries breed some really funny decorating ideas. Sorry. In the Georgia Tech University locker room, one particular decorating idea really stands out. What is it? Is it A, the Clemson Tiger shag carpeting? B, a stuffed Auburn eagle? Or C, a replica of a Georgia Bulldog in each urinal?
Probably it had to be C because it's a good old fashioned hate for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Ding ding.
All right. Yep, C is correct. If you want to use the bathrooms in the Georgia Tech locker room, you do have to urinate on a statue of a Georgia Bulldog. All right,
Yep.
last question. All right, so 2014, Scott Bloomquist was penalised during the 2014 Dirt Track World Championship at Portsmouth Raceway Park. On lap 20, he was leading the race and was sent to the driver's side. Leading the race and was sent to the back for racing with an unapproved device, a piece of Lexan embedded into his car's driver's side window net. Bloomquist still came from last and won the race. After the race was over, a reporter asked him his thoughts on what his rivals had to say about the Lexan. How did he respond? A, he responded by saying, I'd just like to thank my fans and sponsors, my family. B, he responded by saying, I just hope we can put this behind us. Or C, he responded by saying they could stick it up their ass.
I had to say probably C.
Ding 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 ding.
That is correct. All right, Chris, how did he do?
He got 3 out of 4. Not bad.
Not a bad effort at all. All right. Thanks for taking part in that. Now, one of the other things I did want to talk to you about, and Dawson brought it up a little bit earlier, somewhat in the chat. when you mentioned that you did a fantastic job on the Scott Bloomquist tribute video, and you did, and thank you for allowing me to use that. That was a real a lot of people, and as you saw on Facebook with the shares and all of that, a lot of people really appreciated that video, and it resonated quite a lot. But when I do talk about you to people, and I do, it's a little bit if your ears burning. That's just me down here chatting away about my buddy Brooks. You have a knack for going viral. You've had a number of really good videos in the TikTok and sort of YouTube and the viral video sense. I think the first one I ever saw was the lightning bolt one. That
Yeah.
I think that had millions of views. It aired on
Yeah.
ridiculousness. It really did good. And then there's obviously, I thought you were just sharing them. The college when they announced the NCAA college, is it NCAA, the college
Yeah.
football game. And you
Yep.
started coming out with all these like mock intros for the teams and stuff. I thought, oh yeah, he's just sharing. He just likes the sport so much. Someone's making it. No, it turns out Brooks was making and they were doing gangbusters. I think the first one I saw had done tens of thousands of views, and then it just went spiraled from there. Um, my question simply is just to help me out. How do you do it? What is it? Just a knack for that? Are you sort of at that right point in the algorithm in terms of interests and output? Like you seem to be very lucky in that respect. What what
It,
what can you
Go
say
ahead.
about that?
Well, the biggest thing is like you said, the very first video of the lightning video, that really what triggered my name to be put into algorithm. So once you really have that one thing that kind of triggers your name to be put into something to generate a view, it normally helps you down the line years later to be able to be generated through other views in different platforms too. And I was fortunate, like I almost died from it, but it was crazy, but it was wild how it went too. So it was my wife. She could tell you about how bad it was. Almost ran through the glass door because I was so terrified. But yeah, it's with the college videos and Scott Bloomquist videos. Scott Bloomquist video, man, it made me feel like Dale Earnhardt.
Yep.
And when I thought of Dale Earnhardt, the very first thing I thought about was when they did on Speed Channel, they did his funeral and they played the Garth Brooks song, and it was The Last Dance. And then, so it just popped in my head with that. And then there's so many highlights of Scott Bloomquist. I mean, the GOAT. Dude won on three wheels. I mean, like I said, he was light at the scales, 8 dreams, world 100s. Most war wins all time in Lucas Oil late models. I think he's pretty up there in World of Outlaws late models as well. But there was just a lot of clips and stuff, and then it's just vibing. I don't know. It's just weird to say. It's like a vision in a way. Like
Mm.
you start thinking of what you want to put together, and you have it up here, and then you just got to find the right stuff to make it clip and edit and put it together. And then finding the right song too that you think could fit with the song and kind of tell the story in the song with the videos.
No, it's definitely an awesome talent that you have with it, Chris. My
For sure.
producer, obviously, he's another one that can whip a video up, and it's like, what's the topic, what's the content? Okay, here's a video, 10 minutes later type of thing, and um, it's. I know some people like, yeah, some people like yourself like go, oh yeah, it's easy. You just you get the software, you put the clip in, you put a bit of music, you do this. And I know I can obviously explain some of the things I do in that sense, and it's not that easy. It
No.
does take a knack, and yeah, definitely going to leave that talent to you guys because you're very cool at it. I was gonna grab a couple of your clips, but I thought I wasn't sure with the rights, with how you might have distributed the rights, and like when
Yeah.
appearing on TV and stuff like that. So we do have Brooks' socials in the description of the link of the show here today. But if you don't see it there, or if you want it, it is 864 Gamer Dad on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. And yeah, obviously college football. I know you'll see some of that. You might even see a bit of a Bob TV 864 Gamer Dad collab coming up in the future. Once I'm
Can't wait.
confident with my Fortnite gaming ability. No.
We can play whatever, baby. Whatever. I can't
but
wait. That's the
But
biggest thing too, is like streaming too, man. Like that's another thing that you gotta have so much patience with, is because you feel like you're gonna struggle for a long time, and then it's like boom, you just generate in, and then it's just all uphill from there. So yeah,
yeah, no, I
can't
look, and
wait.
in that regard, I know for myself, and especially discovering this over the last 24 hours. So I've sort of decided that my Twitch portion of my media is sort of going to be variety streamer. So we'll have the broadcasts weekly, the show on the weekends. For the iRacing, but I'm also going to start streaming actual gameplay of other games more. And I did an impromptu stream last night of a game that I'm playing called Kingdom Come Deliverance, but it's one of those games where it doesn't have a big player base, but it has a massive viewer base. So it's
Yeah,
finding
yeah,
that niche. It's finding something you like, but something that viewers want to see. And if and because it's a game about Czech history, a lot of Europeans, a lot of non-English speaking people play it. So when they get an English person playing it, people flock to it. Um,
yep.
and I had about, I think, good 15, 20 viewers last night. I had a guy come in and raid me with 11 viewers, which pumped me up to, I think, 20 something max viewers, but about 68 unique viewers or something for the stream. And it was sort of like, holy cow, it's just have fun doing what you do. Don't go into it too much, especially like this show. Don't go into it planning to
Right.
do X, Y, and Z. It's sort of like, here's the outlines of what we want to do, because nothing ever goes to plan. Nothing ever sort of runs the way you
Right.
really truly want it. So yeah, that was a big shock. But I think just the fact that I was just like, you know what, I'm playing this game. I might as well stream it. I'm having fun doing it. It comes through to the audience, and they can hopefully enjoy watching what they're watching. And same with this, obviously getting our guests on,
Yeah,
and hopefully they're interesting enough that people are like, yeah, that's cool. I want to listen to what that person has to say. Well, hopefully,
yeah, it is with me.
so you keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say, I mean, that's how it is with me. Like you talk about different wild things or generics to where you share and stream. It's like I played Red Dead Redemption 2 for the first time, and I actually got more viewers off of that than I have college football. It's crazy. I guess it depends on how, like you say, the knack of your voice, how you look, and how you present the game too, is how it gets engaged with other viewers. So it is pretty cool how it generates.
And I look at that. I was saying to one of my buddies who's got a couple of mates that I've been gaming with for decades that have been a lot of help and a lot of advice, and you'll see them pop up in the chats in my Twitch stuff a bit. Griffin and Shrublord, but they shit. I forgot where I was going with that. No, I've lost my
Pop
train
up
of
in the
thought.
chat,
Yeah.
put your
um.
thinking glasses on for a
Now,
second.
yeah.
It'll
Now I'm
make
just
it
trying to.
relate.
Now it's bugging my head what I was going to say about that. No, I can't. It's a lost thought, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
We're right up there on that hour portion of the show, so we're getting to that part where we start to wrap. I think I was going to say I hope that, or if I didn't already say, I hope that your algorithm luck and your viralness, whether that can wash off onto this show here today, please. That would be great.
Hopefully, hopefully that would be nice.
But
That would be nice to see Bob up there. Like I said, we start collabing together and go stream on virtual times, like a couple hours at a time. Just takes 2 hours to start hitting the algorithm, and then that's when you get more engaged viewers. So the longer you stream together, the more it helps with you.
definitely does, and I definitely think, and it's one of those things where the show we keep to an hour, so we are coming up to the end of our chat, which is unfortunate because there's so much more I could talk to you about, and I think that's sort of good. It means we have to have you back again, as well as some of those collab cams as well. All right, I think we'll end on one pearl of wisdom. If you could give, outside of the standard sort of fluffy advice that people give other people in iRacing, oh, throttle control, slow in, slow out. What's some advice you wish you knew in your early stages of iRacing that you know now that you think other people should know?
First off, if you're running dirt street stock, even your own wheel ratios on 6.1, put it to 4.1. Mess with your wheel offset.
Actually,
Mess with your wheel offset.
there
Help
is
that
one
too.
technique that I do that I stole directly from you as well, and I've used it
Yeah.
since the day I learned it, and that is fourth gear. Just put the street stock in fourth gear. Don't take it out. Leave it in there. Off you go.
Leave it
Uh,
in there. Yeah. just simple things, man. That's exactly right. I mean, even starting off in fourth gear, you're gonna not have much wheel spin, so it helps you out.
Definitely, and yeah, that 4-to-1 ratio, I spread that to every person that listens. I had a few guys in KHR Knuckleheads Racing when I was growing up, telling them in the interviews and stuff, and they they can tell oh yeah, no worries, Bob, and it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That sounds stupid, but it is such a game changer. If you're like, I don't like the street stocks, they drive like a boat and they're too loose, then you're on 6-to-1 ratio. Drop it to 4-to-1,
Pretty
even
much.
-2. You know, depending on the bank or whatever. And yeah, definitely some good advice. All right, my man. Look, we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for making yourself available for the Bob Show. Really appreciate it. As I say, I cannot thank you enough for the foundations that you laid that allowed this to sort of eventually come to fruition. It 100% would not have been possible without you. So forever grateful and super glad that we're mates and that you guys are sort of stuck with me and this crazy little Uncle Bob down here in Australia. And obviously, like I said in the chat, happy birthday to your beautiful little one for the other day. I saw it late, so I didn't get a chance to post that. But yeah, we'll definitely be talking soon.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Thank y'all again for inviting me on. I've enjoyed it. It's been pretty cool, man. And like I said earlier, man, I kind of laid the nest for it, and you just took off and flew with it. So, man, it's been awesome to watch you do what you've done, and can't wait to see where you're at. You're only on year 3, so I can only imagine where you'd be at year 10. So, keep it up, Bob.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, and yeah, look forward to working with you some more, man.
Yeah, can't wait, brother. You have a good one, and thank you, man. See you soon.
Thank you. All right, guys and girls, thank you so much for coming out and watching the 4th show, the Bob Show. Really enjoying where this is going and what we're doing with the product and stuff. We've got some regular broadcasts coming back in a week's time. So just one more show before we get back to pretty much full-time airings of stuff. So that's going to be awesome. Before we wrap up, I'm just going to pop the sponsors up on our screen, and Chris is going to provide our wonderful outro. Thank you, Chris.
I'm just doing it just as well as Bob here on next week. We're going to be talking with John Bennett. We're going to be talking about some Michigan racing, and it looks like our topic will be just talking about what makes a good iRacing league. And John